Okay, thank you. Oh, that's covered. I'm sorry. Okay. Going into session, the hearing on with public safety, intergovernmental and military affairs for Thursday, February 11th, 2021, 1 p.m. It's a video conferencing, and I guess I got to read some of these things to you. So anyway, the meeting, including the audio and video of this remote participants, is being streamed live on YouTube. Lucky you. You will find links to the viewing options for all Senate meetings on the live and on-demand video page of the legislature's website. The Zoom meeting and the YouTube live stream event will include the following agendas, which is today's, which is Thursday, February 11th, and at 1 p.m. and there's one at 1:30 today. In the likely event, it will abruptly end this hearing due to major technical difficulties. The committee will reconvene to discuss any outstanding business at February. Anyway, next Tuesday. Okay. Public notes will be posted at the legislature's website. For people participating remotely, all testifier audio will be muted and video disabled until shortly it's your turn to testify. The time limit for testifier is 1 minute if you are wanting to testify. And I'll be reading a list of names of people who submitted written testimony for each measure. We apologize if the closed captioning doesn't accurately transcribe the names. If you're interested in reviewing the written testimony, please go to the legislature's website. You'll find a link on the status page for the measure. And just for those of you who may have tried to get into our website to give your testimony and you weren't able to, it's because we have a deadline and you missed the deadline. But we will still take your testimony, but it won't be part of this deliberations. Okay? Having said that, I think I've covered pretty much of what I need to. And we'll begin with the first bill, which is Senate Bill 515. And we have Luke Myers, the administrator for Hawai'i. Is Luke available?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. My name is Luke Myers. I'm the administrator for Hawai'i Emergency Management Agency. Thank you, Chair, for this opportunity. Hawai'i stands on the testimony as submitted, offering comments on Senate Bill 515. We are available for discussion as necessary. Thank you.
Thank you. And we have Philip Raposa in support, John Roberts opposed, Dwayne Sosa opposed, Lisa Kierman opposed, Elizabeth Diamond opposed, Len Higashi sent in comments, and Nerad Reddy opposed. And Len Higashi is on the Zoom. Oh, Len, are you available?
Aloha, Chair, Vice Chair, members of the committee.
Okay.
Len Higashi from Hawaii Technology Development Corporation. So we stand on our written comments and available for questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Len. Are there anybody else that's interested in testifying? If not, I'm going to Senate Bill 521. And we have Lance Goto for the AG's office who sent in comments. And on the live feed, it's Internet Lily, Office of the Public Defender in opposition. Internet.
Yes. Hello, Chair, Vice Chair, Deputy Public Defender Antoinette Lilly on behalf of the Office of the Public Defender. Our office will stand on our written testimony in opposition to this bill, and I am available for any questions.
Okay, you might get some questions. Okay, Luke Myers, Haima.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Luke Myers. I'm the administrator of the Hawaii Emergency Management Agency. We appreciate the opportunity to testify on behalf of Bill 521, and we are offering comments. We are available for additional discussion as necessary.
Okay, thank you. Michael Konishima, HPD.
Good afternoon, Chair. The Honolulu Police Department stands on its written testimony in support with concerns. We'll stand by for questions if necessary.
Thank you. Stephanie Donoho, Kohala Coast Resort Association. In support. Randy Pereira for Hawaii government employees in support. Pride at Work, Hawaii in support. Tuiana Scanlon, IATSE Local 665 in support. Levana Loma, Chief Energy Office, testifying for our rights organization opposed. And we have for the ILWU, Susan Ignacio in support. Juliana Yano, Yano, Aloha for Freedom Coalition opposed. Kate Watanabe, Unite 5, Local 5 support. Kevin Batley, Association of Flight Attendants in support. Michael Golohue for the LGBT. You're on the, are you there, Mike?
Yes, I am, Senator. Thank you. Michael Goloyu Jr., Chair of the LGBT Caucus of the Democratic Party of Hawaii, and we stand in full support of this measure. The reason we do so is because we want to stand with our friends in labor, as well as the members of our caucus that have been deemed essential workers that have had to go to work during this pandemic and face harassment and possible life-threatening illness, and that they deserve the protections that this bill would bring. So we encourage you all to pass this bill and protect our workers. Again, on behalf of the LGBT Caucus, we want to thank you for hearing this bill, and I'll be available for questions.
Thank you. Makana Paris for Hawaii 9 workers. Makana, you're free.
Hi, Senator. They're not present.
Okay, but anyway, they were in support. Leroy Chincio, IBEW 1260 in support. Randy Pereira for HGA in support. Dan Kochi for ASME in support. Joseph O'Donnell, Line Workers 625 in support. Charles Silva, individual opposed. James Mann, individual opposed. Darcy Franco, individual is also opposed. Georgia Mikhailicek, opposed. Dwayne Sosa, opposed. Lisa Kerman, opposed. Craig Dancy, opposed. Renee Eppering, opposed. Unite John Otahan is opposed. And I'll read them all, but there's about another two. Oh, they are? Let me check. Oh, I'm sorry. Unai, you want to put you on Zoom?
Hi, my name is Hi'inai Tahon, and I just want to thank you for this opportunity to testify. I strongly oppose this bill. I feel like there are many issues with this bill, but just to be quite short because it's only a minute, I feel that it is in this divisive political and societal climate, it further divides our community by protecting some and deeming them more protected and special than others. Essential workers are not the arm of the government, and they are no way required to impose emergency orders. That's the government's job. And I feel like to require and expect individuals to do so further pits our community against each other. They may remind people, they may ask them, but they're not required to do it. And disagreeing members are not required to listen to them. I feel in a free society that we should be able to disagree with one another. That is an important component of a free society. And if there is already measures to protect these people, and to do more so for workers imposing an emergency order than for any other reason, I feel is wrong, and it should be given the same weight in the eyes of the law. And the terms of this bill are extremely vague. You need to define what interfere means, because if it's just left up to the person who is dealing with another person in that situation, then that can be very dangerous, and the slightest of interference can then be required, like, can mean many things.
Are you wrapping it up?
Yes, and that is all. Thank you for this opportunity.
Well, thank you. Thank you for your testimony. We have Jennifer Noel next. Jennifer, are you there?
Bill, how do I get this on? How do I get the speaker on? Help me, hurry, fast.
I can hear you.
Oh, you can?
Yes.
Okay, is it okay if I don't know how to get the picture on?
That's okay, but I can hear you.
Okay, well,
I do see you.
Pardon?
I do see you as well as hear you.
Okay, I strongly oppose SB 521. This is a bill that really is about taking away our First Amendment during a state of emergency and giving many non-law enforcement professionals the power to have people arrested for voicing their opinions, objections to executive orders, laws during a state of emergency. SB 521 further states that essential workers, and I take offense over that term because we're all essential, but nevertheless, it says essential workers will be protected against assault, but we already have laws in place that protect citizens against assault. SB 521 will create a community of snitches by giving certain professions, basically law enforcement powers, causing further division in our community. It's been disturbing watching the bills that have been introduced this session. I feel that everyone elected has taken an oath to protect our Constitution, but most of these bills that I am seeing seem to be completely ignoring our Constitution and our inalienable rights as Americans. This to me is a bill that is totally unconstitutional, and I ask you all to vote no on SB 21. SB 521.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. The next almost 20 odd people, I'll just oppose, but I'll just read the names off. Nicole A., Louis Crozier, Amber Tranetzi, Martin Weiland, Isabel Espiritu, Maria Rizzo, Keith Jarji, Jai P., Kiani Kennedy, Kaio Cardoza, and Elizabeth Diamond. I think you are on the screen. Elizabeth, are you there?
Oh, hi. Yes, I'm having a hard time here. Okay. So my, well, first of all, I missed everyone meeting in person, but I'm grateful for this opportunity. I didn't save my testimony, so I'm just going to speak from my heart. Historically, if we look back at any awful regime, beginning when it always begins when the door is open for abuse of power. And when one class of people is given a special status of authority, no doubt that takes place. And so for them to make a decision who violates, for instance, mask order, how they know the condition of the person, any other order, and then to get a felony. This is really, like someone said, we are all essential in the state of Hawaii. So what if one having some sort of allergies or medical intervention that such, for instance, like mask, he could not put it on because of hypoxia or asthma, like people that I know of, and other conditions. So those are exemptions given by the governor, and how that essential worker be able to actually find out, what is that. So we already have laws to protect against any assault and harassment. So we have the police, and we're really violating equal protection clause, come to think about it, because there's no more valid It will pass to 521. Simply we're
Elizabeth.
violating and shredding Constitution. So I came from a communist country regime, and I see the unhealthy signs taking root for a while now. So enforcing any kind of
Elizabeth, I think I get the
Yeah.
drift of what you're saying, and you're opposed. So if you don't mind, I need to get through the rest of the people who are waiting.
Okay,
That's okay
thank you,
with you?
appreciate, and I heartily ask you don't do this to the people of Hawaii.
Thank you.
Vote no, thank you.
Lucian's opposed. Anu Hea Maeda, you on the call?
Yes, thank you, Chair. Yeah, my name is Anohea Maeda, and I strongly oppose SB 521 for a number of reasons, but for the sake of time, I'll just go over probably like one of them. But like some of the people said already, while the purpose of this bill is to prevent harassment to essential workers, there's nothing in place to, in the incidents that an essential worker may be doing the harassing. And it does, like they said, it provides favor to one class of people over another. But also I wanted to say that we should keep in mind the true purpose behind SB 521 is supposed to be for the protection of public health. So this bill is based on the presumption that mask wearing is in fact effective in curbing the spread of the virus. I'd be interested to know what studies the legislature is using to back up conclusively that mask wearing does in fact protect citizens from the virus, or studies that show that asymptomatic carriers are the drivers.
I hate to interrupt you, Anohea, but this bill that says interfering with an essential worker in an emergency makes it a felony. It doesn't say anything about mask wearing.
I mean, it did provide an example in there with mask wearing. And in the event that an essential worker goes up to someone to...
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, so...
But I got it. So you're opposed to it. And
yeah, the curbing of public health.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you for your testimony.
Thank you.
Michael Mazone, Jennifer Gonzalez, Yulia Mizuchenko, Genevieve Chong, Kristen Cosme, Brett Sherwood, Laurie Jean Searchy. They're all opposed. So it brings us to David Aoki. Are you there, David?
Yes, I am. This is David Hioki. I want to thank the Senate committee for providing the time for me to provide testimony. I view the Senate as the upper chamber of the legislature, and I expect a very wise interpretation of the bill and our opposition, my opposition to the bill. In effect, the bill is very well intentioned, but it does have some unintended consequences. First, it creates two classes of citizens. The first class, Class A, is specified as these people in the essential industries and roles. And then there's everybody else, the Class B people, who are subject to the penalties of this bill. Parts of the bill enumerates some things as intimidation, harassment, and these are kinds of things that I see in everyday life. To have people be subject to a Class C felony for exercising what may or may not they feel is harassment, because that is really not up to them to decide. It is up to the Class A people to decide. This could result in some unintended consequences, such as a very large number of Class C felonies of people who may not necessarily think they're acting as Class C felons. So I am strongly opposed to this bill. I do hope that the Senate spends some time reviewing Senate Bill 119, which I feel is a much better remedy to the situation. I think it does provide the same sort of positive intention and service to the community as this bill might have done. Thank you very much for hearing me.
Thank you, David. Next two individuals who are also opposed, Jack Ebner, Justin Yahon, and we have Naya Mayapo, Mayapo, Lindsay, sorry, you mismanaged your name. Naya?
Hi, Senator, they're not present.
No, okay, but anyway, Naya was opposed. The next 5 or 6 are also opposed. Some were late testimonies. Desiree Deter, Michelle Melendez, Jessica Fredericks, Carol Phillips, Kestrel Sutton, Leah, and Daniel Moy. They were also opposed. So I think that brings us to the end of that particular set of testifiers. So we're going to move on to Senate Bill 1109, and we have Mary Alice Evans, Office of Planning.
Aloha, Chair, Vice Chair, and members of the committee. My name is Danielle Bass, State Sustainability Coordinator in the office representing the Office of Planning today. We stand on our testimony strongly supporting this measure to formally create and codify a state disaster recovery framework. Our office was involved in the emergency planning and disaster recovery assistance for COVID-19, and we find that with the changing climate, the Office of Planning anticipates the need for future disaster recovery. So institutionalizing such a framework will be beneficial to the state of Hawaii. I'm available for any questions if you have any. Thank you.
Thank you. Luke Myers, Hawai'i.
Good afternoon, Chair. My name is Luke Myers. I'm the Administrator of the Hawaii Emergency Management Agency. We stand in support of Senate Bill 1109 and are available for further discussion as necessary. Thank you.
Thank you. Scott Glenn, Chief Energy Office.
Chair Nishihara, Vice Chair English, and members of the committee. My name is Mark Want, and I'm here to testify on behalf of Chief Energy Officer, Mr. Scott Glenn. We stand on our support of our written support of SB 1109. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Philip Raposa, individuals in testimony opposed. And that brings us to the end of that particular bill. So we're going to move on to
Chair Nishihara. Is it possible to testify? This is Alexandra Slois.
You were not on the list.
I had a technical issue with my.
I'm sorry. We'll let you. Got your picture in front of me, so go ahead.
Okay, apologies. My name is Alexandra Slois, Chair Nishihara, Vice Chair English, and members of the committee. I did have a technical issue with submitting my written testimony. However, I do serve as the State Disaster Recovery Coordinator for the Governor's Office in partnership with the Hawaii Emergency Management Agency. And I wanted to convey my strong support for SB 1109, which, as my colleagues mentioned, officially establishes and institutionalizes a state disaster recovery program and framework. This proposal reflects work underway for the last year. The urgency of the COVID-19 pandemic economic impacts accelerated our efforts to stand up the state's recovery framework, which is based on the National Disaster Recovery Framework. And our efforts aim to align opportunities for recovery funding, technical assistance, and near-term initiatives resulting in direct benefit to the people of Hawaii for this current situation, as well as for the future. So thank you so much for making an exception today, and I'll stand by if there are any questions. Thank you.
Well, I'm glad we were able to take your testimony. I'm sure the governor will be pleased.
Thank you.
Okay, Senate Bill 1112, 1112. We have Major General Hara for the Department of Defense. Is the general there?
Chair Nishihara. Good afternoon.
Yes.
My name is Brigadier General Neil Mitsuyoshi. I'll be testifying on behalf of Major General Hara, who apologizes for not being able to make it today for the Department of Defense. We stand on our written testimony in support of Senate Bill 1112 and are prepared to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, thank you. Philip Raposa in support, Gerald Silva opposed. Any others that are out there that didn't get put on? Otherwise, then we'll move on to Senate Bill 1113, and we have again Major General Hara. General Mitsuyoshi, you'll be speaking.
Yes, Chair. I'm sorry, I had some technical difficulties. Again, good afternoon, Chair Nishihara and Vice Chair English and members of the committee. Brigadier General Neil Mitsuyoshi, testifying on behalf of Major General Hara and the Department of Defense. We stand on our written testimony in support of Senate Bill 1113 and are prepared to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that's the only one for that. And then we'll do Senate Bill 1119. We have Lance Goto, Attorney General, in support. Then we have James Tabe, Office of the Public Defender, also online.
Good afternoon, Chair. Thank you, Chair, Vice Chair, and members of the committee. My name is James Tabe. I'm with the Office of the Public Defender. We support this measure as well as, or any other measure that will create a civil infraction for violating the governor and mayor's, various mayor's emergency rules and orders. Currently, charging our citizens with a misdemeanor offense is for many of the violations that have been popping up are just simply unfair and unjust. As indicated in our written testimony, many law-abiding citizens, including the nation's Surgeon General, were charged for the first time with a criminal offense. And this is what's been going on for the past year. Now, a civil infraction of some type here will be an efficient and effective remedy to this situation. So when a person gets cited for not wearing a mask, for instance, or being on the beach or whatever it may be, instead of having to hire an attorney, spend the money, post bail, or whatever it needs to be, and make numerous court appearances, all they got to do is write out a check, throw it in the mail, pay by credit card, online, or in person, or even by phone. If they want to contest it, they can write a written statement. Simple as that. If they don't agree with the outcome, they can ask for a de novo hearing. It's quite efficient. So I think that would be the better way, most effective and efficient way of handling these situations. Otherwise, we'll stand on our testimony and I'll be available for any questions later on. Thank you.
James, I guess these kinds of cases are plugging up the courts.
Yeah, pretty much as her written testimony indicates, we have the judiciary is very busy. I'm sure the prosecutor's office as well, and we are getting busy with these. We just had a 3-day jury trial on one of these cases. So talk about clogging up the courts. That's just ridiculous. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Luke Myers for Hawai'i.
Good afternoon, Chair. My name is Luke Myers. I'm the administrator of the Hawaii Emergency Management Agency. Hawai'i stands on the testimony submitted for Senate Bill 1119, offering comments. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Mark Santoki, Acting Deputy Chief Court Administrator, Judiciary, sent in comments. Trisha Nakamatsu, Deputy Prosecuting Attorney for the City and County of Honolulu, in support.
Chair, just to let you know that we are here and
Oh,
we're
you
available
are
for
here.
questions.
Oh,
I apologize if I was missing. I'm trying to cover 2 hearings at the same time.
I know, you're busy.
Thanks to the wonder of Zoom, I can actually do that now. So
Yeah.
well, we are here and available for questions.
Oh, good. Good to see you again, Trisha. Mark Riccio, HPD.
Thank you, Chair, members of the committee, Vice Chair. I'm Major Mark Riccio, Honolulu Police Department. I represent District 6 Waikiki. The Honolulu Police Department is in support of Bill 1119. It'll definitely free up officers from attending court. It'll help with overtime, and it'll also help members of the community. So we are HPD is in support of this bill.
Thank you. Thank you, Major. Trivoli Fa'aumu, Maui Police Department. Are you there? Oh, okay. Got you in support. Victor Ramos in support, and Gerald Silva in support. And that brings us to the end of that list of names. So at this time, before we conclude, I'd just like to mention that take up, there's 3 bills, I believe, in the next agenda, which is at 1:30. So we'll make decisions on all of them on the 1:30 agenda. Okay. So if we're okay, the committee's okay, we're gonna roll right into the 1:30 agenda because it's just about 1:30 right now. Okay. Pull it out. Okay, the 1:30 agenda. I'm having a little trouble finding that 1:30 agenda. Yes, this thing. Okay, here we go. Sorry for that delay. Okay, 1:30 agenda. We have anyway, I think I can kind of wing this one. Here we go. Too much paper. Okay, here we go. On the 1:30 agenda, we have Senate Bill 560 relating to ranked choice voting, establishes ranked choice voting for special federal elections and special elections of vacant county council seats. And on this, we have Sandy Ma, Executive Director for Common Cause. Sandy.
Good afternoon, Chair, Vice Chair, members of the committee. Common Cause supports SB 560 and ranked choice voting. We stand on our written testimony and support for more fair and efficient elections. We feel like ranked choice voting will really help the public elect a more representative candidate to office. Thank you very much. I'm here to answer any questions if there are any. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy. Susan Roberts Emery, Green Party in support. John Bickle, Americans for Democratic Action in support. Philip Raposa, opposed. David Kingdon in support. Michael Golohue in support. Talak Tukuda in support. Caroline Kunitaki in support. David Anderson in support. Edward Hanel in support. Donovan Osdo opposed. Mary Smart opposed. Barbara Best in support. Stacy Burke in support. And that brings us through the list of testifiers for Senate Bill 560. So then we'll roll on to the next one. Senate Bill 645, we have Isaac Choi, Dotax.
Aloha, Chair, Vice Chairs, member of the committee. Department of Taxation stands on its written testimony, providing comments on available for question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yamachika for Tax Foundation. Tom. Okay, well, anyway, he sent in some comments, so we have that for the record. Philip Raposa, opposed. That brings us to the end of that bill. We'll move on to Senate Bill 648, Suzanne Case for the LNR.
Good afternoon, Chair, members of the committee. Russell Tsuji for the department. We sent in testimony opposing, but really it's suggesting an amendment to clarify the bill to make sure what I think is intended. So we have an amendment, a friendly amendment, and we stand on our written testimony on comments. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Kevin Moore, the LNR.
Kevin is with me, Chair. Thank you.
And in opposition as well, right? Yeah. Okay. Philip Raposa in support. And Suzanne Case. Oh, you're right. It's now Senate Bill 700. And again, I guess, Russell, you'll be speaking for Suzanne Case.
Which bill, Senator?
700.
I wasn't prepared to. There should be, is there someone else?
Well, we have comments from your chairman. So when we have the, we'll take that into account.
Yeah, we can, this is David Smith, Administrator, Division of Forest and Wildlife. We can stand our written comments. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Catherine Stanaway.
She's with the division also. Thank you.
Okay, in support. Okay. Nahia Lani Webster, Hawaii Association for Justice. Nahia Lani. Okay. Philip Proposo, support. Abraham Antonio, support. Stanley Mendez in support. Marcus Tanaka in support. Ryan Arakawa in support, and Todd Yukutaki. Oh, I'm sorry. You're back up. I think. Yeah, okay. I found that I missed two people from the earlier Senate Bill 700. Carlos Santana, who was in support, and Elena Funakoshi in support. And now Senate Bill 568. And now we have for DLNR, I think it's you, right? 568. Folks are in support. With Susan Case. Yeah, for Susan Case. So I guess you'll be speaking for her.
Yeah, hi, this is David Smith again, Division of Forestry and Wildlife. The department stands on its written testimony in support.
For 568, right?
568, yes, thank you.
Yeah. And Catherine Stanaway also, you're speaking for her as well?
I believe so, unless she's testifying as an individual, but she is our legal fellow and can advise if you have any questions.
Okay, thank you. So Nahia Lani Webster, is she there? Nahia? Hawaii Justice, Association for Justice. Not, okay, she's opposed. And the other names that I read off just earlier, they were all in support. So that brings us to Senate Bill 720. Well, I tell you what. Okay, I'll reread the names that were in support. Philip Proposa, Abraham Antonio, Stanley Mendez, Marcus Tanaka, Ryan Arakawa, Todd Yukutake, all were in support. Now this brings us to Senate Bill 720. We have Cheryl Kazu Park or Jennifer Bruce.
Hi. Hi, Chair. Okay, I'm on.
Yeah.
Hi, Chair, members of the committee. I'm Cheryl Kakazu Park, Director of the Office of Information Practices, testifying in strong opposition to this bill because it would rip the heart out of the Sunshine Law if you pass this bill. It would let the county council members to recess and huddle and caucus and then just go back into the meeting and tell everybody what they decided. So we hope that you will hold this bill, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go back to Senate Bill 568 because we have Todd Yukutake, if he's on the screen somewhere, that he was missed. So Todd, are you there?
Hi, thank you. Good afternoon, members of the committee. Todd Yukutake. Support this bill. I believe it'll open up more hunting and hiking lands for the public. Another side benefit, I was talking to some of my friends from Maui about their deer population problem. And I was asking them, aren't the hunters hunting all the deer because they're overpopulated, harming farms and starving, things like that? And they said one of the problems is private landowners don't allow hunters to go on their lands because of liability concerns. So this may be a way to help the hunters and the farmers and other people on Kauai affected by the overpopulated deer. But that's all I have. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you, Todd. Sorry I missed you earlier.
Oh, no problem. Thanks.
Okay, now I'm going to continue on with Senate Bill 720, Brian Black for civil beat, as opposed to that bill, Senate Bill 720. Sandy Ma, Common Cause.
Good afternoon again, Chair, Vice Chair, members of the committee. Common Cause opposes SB 720 for the reasons stated in our testimony. SB 720 would effectively exempt the county councils from the Sunshine Law and render it moot as to the county councils. So for these reasons, we oppose SB 720. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy. Liz Miller, for League of Women Voters, also was opposed. That pretty much brings us to the end of the agenda. So at this time, I'd like to no, let me see. Are there? Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, there are several more names. John Burnett, testifying the Big Eye Press Club, is opposed. Nancy Cook Lauder, testifying for All Hawaii News, is opposed. Lynn Matuso, opposed. Philip Raposa, opposed. And Sterling Morita, which is the last one we had, opposed. Okay, so at this time, I'd like to get recess for deliberations. All right. Convening the Committee on Public Safety following decision-making. So the first bill, Senate Bill 515, we're going to defer that bill. Senate Bill 521. We're going to pass this bill with amendments. I thought we said we're going to pass it on. Well, I take it back. This one, 515. We're going to defer that bill. We're going to defer that bill. Okay, Senate Bill 1109. We're going to pass it with amendments, SMA Tech amendments. Yeah, but this is the first one we're taking a vote on. Senate Bill 1109. So here we go.
Chair, you didn't do 521, did you?
I said we're deferring it.
Okay.
Okay, so for 1109, we're going to pass it with amendments. Chair goes aye. Senator English.
Aye.
Senator Baker.
Aye.
Senator Revere. Senator Revere.
Aye, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Senator Favela. Is excused. Okay, motion's adopted. Okay, Senate Bill 1112. We'll pass it with amendments. SMA Tech amendments. So 1112 with amendments. Nishiar goes aye. Senator English.
Aye.
Senator Baker.
Aye.
Senator Revere.
Aye.
Senator Favela is excused. It's adopted. Okay. Senate Bill 1113. Okay, Senate Bill 1113, we defer this bill because there is the House bill being considered. So we're gonna see perhaps maybe the House can do something with that. So that brings us to Senate Bill 1119, pass it with amendments. SMA Tech amendments, committee report will email the requirement that in page 9, line 7, and there'll be blank the amounts in page 22 in line 5. So pass with amendments. Nishar goes aye. Senator English.
Aye.
Senator Baker.
Aye.
Senator Bella. Excuse Senator Revere.
Aye.
Okay. Motion's adopted. Okay, now that brings us to the 1:30 agenda.
Chair,
Yes.
Chair, before we move on, did you talk about 1113?
Yeah, I said that's the one that we're gonna have the House, which is the bill is moving in the House, so the House will undertake that. So we're not going to. That's why we're deferring that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So the Senate Bill 560 on the 1:30 agenda is to pass it as is. Okay, Nishar goes aye. Senator English.
Aye.
Senator Baker.
Aye.
Senator Revere.
Aye.
Senator Vela is excused. Motion is adopted. Okay, Senate Bill 645. Okay, this one's passed with amendments. And we're changing the date, which is what was in the bill tax, from July 1st, 2023 to January 1st, 2023 for the assessment and levy. Oh, okay, we're gonna change section 1, the date requiring the department to levy, assess, and collect the county surcharge beginning on July 1st, 2023 instead of January 1st, 2023. It's currently written. Okay. Said the same thing, but a little different order. Anyway, the chair goes aye. Senator English.
Aye.
Senator Baker.
Aye.
Senator Revere.
Reservations.
Okay. And Senator Bell is excused. Motion's adopted. Which brings us to Senate Bill 648, and there are amendments. The LNR recommended amendments to section 2. And in the definition of what's a disputed road, disputed road means any highway, road, alley, streetway, bikeway, lane, bridge, or trail that's open to the public for which there is a dispute over ownership and jurisdiction as determined by the Department of Transportation between the state and any of its political subdivisions in a county or private road, or between a county and a private. It's also going to defect the date to January 1st, 2050. So we're going to pass this with those amendments. Okay, chair goes aye. Senator English.
Aye.
Senator Baker.
Aye.
Senator Revere.
Aye.
Senator Favela is excused. Motion's adopted. Okay, Senate Bill 700, passed with amendments basically SMA tech commitments. So chair goes aye. Senator English,
Aye.
Senator Baker,
Aye.
Senator Revere,
Aye.
Senator Bella is excused. Motion's adopted. Thank you. And Senate Bill 568, I'm going to pass it as is, unamended. Chair goes aye. Senator English,
Aye.
Senator Baker,
Aye.
Senator Revere,
Aye.
Senator Bell is excused. Motion's adopted. That brings us to Senate Bill 720, which we will defer. And that brings us to the end of the agenda. And thank you all. This concludes the hearing.